Hey folks, I'm Aslin Blow from linsfood.com. Today we're going to be cooking Maqluba, an upside down Arabic Palestinian rice dish. It's a fabulous multi-layered dish of rice, meat, vegetables and a multi-layer of sensations as well. There is no exact recipe to Maqluba. There are as many recipes as there are cooks, and it really is more a method than a recipe. You can add whatever you want. I've had Maqluba at relatives' homes with lots of turmeric in it to turn the rice yellow, with yogurt, with all sorts of various spices and vegetables and meat as well. Traditionally, I have eaten more just cauliflower and meat Maqluba than anything else, but I do like to add some other roasted vegetables in there for added dimension and flavor. So let's look at the ingredients closely again. First of all, of course, we've got, I hope I'm not cutting my head off here. First of all, we've got basmati rice, rinsed and left to dry. Now, I am not in the soak your basmati rice before using school of thought, despite popular practice and despite my granny and mom telling me otherwise. I much prefer the bite of the basmati rice without soaking it. So rice, and then we've got 500 grams of minced meat. Extra lean is what I prefer to use, and of course you can use chicken, lamb, or just make it fully vegetarian. And we've got some homemade chicken stock here. If you're not going to have homemade chicken stock, any good quality, preferably organic chicken stock, would suffice just as well. The roasted vegetables I talked about. This is a mixture of capsicum, courgettes, and eggplants. And here's the roasted cauliflower. Full recipe on linsfood.com. And we've got some onions, some olive oil, and some tomatoes, which forms the base. And then the spices, we've got allspice. Let me see if I can put that closer. Allspice. We've got some crushed black pepper, and finally to top it, we've got some pine nuts and some parsley. So pretty easy, huh? Not that much stuff to actually add to it. So what we're going to do is saute the onions, add the meat, and start layering things up. Let's get started. Here we are. The onions have had about a minute. Now what we're going to do is add the minced beef in there. And the best way to chop and separate the meat is to get a spatula and get down and get dirty with the end of your spatula. Now at this point we want to turn the heat up because we're browning the meat, not stewing it. If your heat isn't high enough, your meat is going to start stewing in there, and you really don't want that. We're looking to brown it, and we're looking to lose as much of the inevitable moisture. We're going to just add some salt, a little bit of the crushed pepper, unless of course you'd like it really hot, then that's perfectly fine, and the allspice. The distinctive flavor in this. Now I don't like allspice particularly, so I only add half a teaspoon. But if it's something you like, by all means add a full teaspoon to it. Now the full recipe is on linsfood.com. The link is in the description section of your YouTube page. Now the recipe and the instructions for how to grill your vegetables, all that also on the website. Okay, you can see that most of that liquid has evaporated. This is the part where we stop. Turn the heat off. You don't have to let the beef cool down. Now we are going to start the assembly job. Okay, here comes the fun bit. Now, what we are always going to start with is with a layer of tomatoes. I absolutely love these tomatoes. In fact, you know, I think the standard practice is just sort of get one tomato and layer it, but I love lots and lots of tomatoes here, simply because when they are cooked, they add a completely fabulous flavor to the final dish, and I can't stop myself from picking them before actually serving the dish. Oh, by the way, this saucepan is about 20 centimeters across, so that would be sort of 8.5 inches for the amount of stuff that we've got here. Okay, so here we are, a layer of tomatoes. Now, one piece of advice is to actually season every single layer. So we've got some salt, we've got some pepper. Now we are going to add the meat, if I can find it. Oh, here we go. Alrighty, so we're going to spoon that meat. Now, if you just dump it all like that, you might actually upset the tomatoes. So let's carefully spoon bits of it. And when it's actually covered the tomatoes, and you can then just dump it all in there. Okay, now pat it all down. I decorate cakes in my spare time, so this is what I actually use to pack it all down to build a firm tower, because that really is what you are doing. Alrighty. Oh, that pepper's gone up my nose. Okay, so we are going to season the meat just a touch more, because we have done that already, haven't we? And next come the vegetables. So let's start with our roasted vegetables. Again, capsicum, eggplant, courgettes, all cut to about the same size, because that's always the best way when you are doing mixed vegetables. So we're just going to spoon it all. Be careful not to upset the meat, but it's been packed down pretty well. So there you go. The vegetables. Now this spoon is actually quite good on its own, so I'm just going to do that. Now you've got an option here, you know. You could, one of my aunts does this. She actually layers, has 2 or 3 layers of rice instead of just the one lot. I prefer it this way, the traditional way. So now we've got our grilled or roasted cauliflower. Again, full instructions on the website on how to do this. Very, very simple. Half a cauliflower, put it on a baking sheet, drizzle just a touch of olive oil on it, season with salt and pepper, and 180 degrees Celsius for about 10 minutes. Done. There we go. So now we're going to season the vegetable layer. Okay, and we're just going to pack that down. Pardon me. And finally, the rice. Here we are. Best to scatter. This particular dish, my recipe has got lots of vegetables. Traditionally, I probably did mention earlier that it's just, you know, the general recipe is to use just cauliflower, but I think that's a little bit self-limiting in terms of flavor, because the other vegetables add so much more. So there we are. Okay, now we are going to pack this in. Okay. Of course, the rice is going to end up sticking to your whichever it is that you are using. Okay, so we've packed that in. Finally, the stock. Now the best way to pour your stock over is to have a little saucer, a tea saucer, teacup saucer is perfectly fine as well, and then pour it over gently. The stock has got to be hot, ideally simmering away. The reason we do this is so that it doesn't create a hole in the middle of the rice, you know, just like when you're watering plants and you upset the soil. So we don't really want to do that. So we're doing this very, 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 very gently. And then when you are all done, you lift the saucer up. Okay, here we go. Heat is on high, and we've placed the pot on the heat high for about 3 minutes to bring everything up to simmering point. Once you see that the sides are starting to bubble, you know it's hot enough. We're going to cover it, or you can cover it before it actually comes to boiling point. Cover it, turn the heat right down, all the way down, and we are then going to cook this for about 45 minutes. Okay, the rice has had its 45 minutes, so we're going to turn that stove off. Lift the lid off. Now, it's cooked, it's perfectly cooked. If you find that your rice isn't completely cooked, give it another 5 minutes, 10 minutes on that same low heat, and that's all you need. Okay, now we went through all the steps. Full recipe, don't forget, is on linsfood.com, along with how to grill your vegetables, etc. That's all we're going to do. We're going to place a plate over that rice, and we are going to turn it around and slowly ease that saucepan off. Voila. There we go. Can you see how beautiful that is? Let me just bring that closer to the camera, because I wanted to do a full shot. There we go. See how beautiful that looks? Fabulous, isn't it? Now you can do that, as I said, with chicken. I'll make it fully vegetarian. Just going to slide that over ever so slightly. Now, if you've packed it in neatly, there's some tomatoes left there. So what I'm going to do is just pick them up. That's hot. Pick those up. They're not going to. There we are. Very, very soft. They're extremely soft. It doesn't matter if you don't get them all, because you are going to sketch some pine nuts and parsley over. So there we go. These tomatoes are really gorgeous. Okay, so there we are. Now we're going to scatter some parsley and pine nuts over. So what do you serve this with? Usually, really, it's an all-in-one, isn't it? So all you need to serve it with is just some yogurt, some raita would be perfect, or some za'atar yogurt. Now, I've made a video on how to make za'atar from scratch. I'll put the link somewhere there or there in the video. You should be able to link up to it. That ought to take you to the za'atar video. Za'atar is a beautiful Middle Eastern spice blend of crushed sesame seeds, marjoram, oregano, cumin. It's fabulous. It really is fabulous. Mix a little bit of that into yogurt, serve it on the side, some slices of cucumber. Perfect, that's it, a meal in itself. If you're serving this for a party, then you have that. And if you're serving it for the party, do that whole turning it onto a plate bit at the table. Should it fall apart? Hey, just act cool, like you're expecting it all along. Get some parsley, sprinkle it all over, some on the plate, if you like. Okay? Some pine nuts. voila, we are done. I'm going to bring it up to the camera for you to have a good look at it. Here we go. Maqluba, upside down Arabic Palestinian rice dish. How beautiful is that? So, full recipe on linsfood.com. Now I am also doing some regular cooking shows online on Google+. The Google+ Live Hangouts. Regular shows, I do one a week. One of them is called Simply Singapore. The other one is called Sing with a Flavor. I will put that link right here and click on it, and that ought to get you to my other YouTube channel called AZ Entertainment, where all my live cooking shows are found. Thank you so much for watching. That was Maqluba, Arabic Palestinian upside down rice dish, perfect for the coming Eid. I hope you enjoyed that. Check back soon. If you liked that video, don't forget to like it and subscribe. Thank you so much. See you again soon.